My apologies for that. I was slightly distracted by a very annoying barman. Decided to come onto the table, which I'm at. I'm a pub at the moment, and he's decided to come along on a table and make a whole heap of noise. So my apologies. Moving back to this boxing thing, Vitali versus Dereck Chisora. To talk about Vitali's footwork, and I don't know if his footwork looked disorientated when he fought Sanders, because Sanders was putting the pressure on him, and he doesn't seem the most, not the word agile, coordinated on his feet. And if you've boxed, you stand in the middle of the ring and you're using a left jab and a right hand and dictating a fight, it's one thing. But when you have a guy that's on your chest and you're trying to get away from that guy, then, and I've said I don't believe Vitali has a good inside fighter. This is where I think is where the fight will be won or lost for him. Vitali's not invincible. I don't believe that for 1 second. I do believe he's a great fighter. I do believe he deserves to be a Hall of Fame fighter. So before people start saying I'm trying to shoot down Vitali, I'm not. But I'm also saying to you that I've got to defend the guy that I think is going to win the fight. I am a big Vitali fan. I may not sound like it, but I just believe that this opponent that he's picked in Dereck Chisora is one that may well have been overlooked. So this is where we're at with things. I do believe for Chisora to win this fight, it's going to work down to 3 things. Now, one of those things are, can he get past the left jab? Well, have you seen a fight so far where Dereck Chisora hasn't been able to get past the jab? Tyson Fury, 6'9", he got inside and he was out of shape, badly out of shape, and he got inside of Fury. Helenius got inside the jab. Okay, so I think Dereck has a style to get past the jab, and if he gets past the jab, then what happens? Because Vitali has no sort of inside work, and let's be honest, Dereck cannot box him from the outside. He's going to have to get it inside, roll, and get inside and throw the left hook. Okay? The other thing is, people talk about how Vitali can knock him out. Yes, he probably could. He's got the knockout power and the pedigree to do that. But he doesn't hit as hard as he once did. Fact. Like I said, the Shannon Briggs fight is a good example of that. Adamek, don't look at the Adamek fight. Adamek is a light heavyweight, blown up cruiserweight. So really, I don't think Adamek had any point being in that ring. And the fact that people think Adamek were going to win the fight because he had speed. He had speed, no power, and way too small. Chisora is a bona fide heavyweight, a proper heavyweight. He doesn't, bolt up to make the fight. He's a fully fledged heavyweight, so that's not going to be a point. People mentioned Areola. Areola stood in front of Klitschko again way too long, and if Chisora decides to stand outside the jab and let Klitschko pop him with them right hands, then we all know what's going to happen. So I think that's what people are expecting. Here's where I think things will be different. Now, Chisora's going to have to come in with lateral movement, which means he's going to have to make Vitali pick his feet up every time. You can only land power shots, and if you look at all the guys that Vitali's fought, and he's hit them with power shots, they've stood directly in front of him. Well, that's fine. If I stand in front of you and I load up a left jab and then throw a big right hand, you're standing in front of me, of course I'm going to connect. And if you're especially walking into it, even worse so. So if you're moving laterally, which means that you can't set your feet and throw your punches. So if Chisora is able to constantly turn Vitali, and with that back injury, I don't know how supple his back is now for movement. And let's say the guys that have fought him recently, like I said, have been made quite comfortable for him. The last guy that really rushed him and put him under real pressure, we go back to the Corey Sanders fight. Forget the Lennox Lewis fight, Corey Sanders fight, where Corey Sanders had no fear whatsoever. So you take into the mix a man that has no fear. People say, oh well, they've made this criticism or judgment of Chisora, but the man's not even 30 yet. Do you know, he's 27 years old, 28 years old now. So yeah, you've got to say he's in his prime as a fighter. So he's going to get better. He's going to have learnt from the Helenius fight. He's going to learn from the Tyson Fury fight. None of those fights did he get knocked out or sparked out in. You know, the Tyson Fury fight, to be fair, he took Tyson's punches and kept coming forward, and he was out of shape. The Helenius fight, he kept coming at Helenius, so he'll grit down on his teeth when it gets tough. He'll be there, and he's coming physically to take the fight to Klitschko. I mean, how many other guys in the heavyweight division at this current moment you think is going to do that? You know, David Haye is a big puncher, but where have you seen David go and take the fight to anybody? David won't take the fight to anybody. He's going to, you know, circle around as a heavyweight, because now he's got to worry about what's coming in. So I'm working from the premise that Chisora has a good chin. I'm also working from the premise that Chisora is going to be this is the fight of his life, which makes a dangerous man. You make a hungry man a very dangerous man, right? You know, and he's had the experience of fighting two big men previously coming into fight. So I think his chances are increased because of what's happened here. And because Vitali as well is 40. Now I don't want to hear when Chisora wins this fight, people say, yeah, well Vitali was 40. Well, he was 40 before the fight. So that's not going to be no excuse. So for me, the way for Chisora to win the fight, and his punch has got to be his left hook. His left hook, and then his left hook and right hand. He's going to make Vitali stop, not want to throw that left jab. And the way to make him uncomfortable throwing that left jab is to think about the fact that when he throws that left jab, he leaves himself open, the left hook comes over the top. So he slips under the jab, bang, left hook inside. He's got to step inside and throw the left hook. That, for me, is a way to make Vitali change his game plan. He's got to do something different. He cannot stay on the outside. One criticism I do have of Chisora, and you know, is that in fights, when he does come in, he rolls his head, but he still gets tagged. I mean, he got tagged against Helenius, if you notice in the first round. He got tagged there. He gets clipped when he fought Tyson Fury quite a few times, and he also got tagged a few times by Sam Sexton. So he has an ability to get tagged in fights. So that's my only concern about him coming in. But if he can put the work rate in, which I think he will do, I think you're going to see the best Chisora. Forget about the Helenius fight. Forget about the Tyson Fury fight. This man's got a lot of hunger. This man's got a lot of fight in him. And he's not just going to go there and fall down like most of these opponents. He's got something to prove. And he's, you know, if you're fighting as someone who's a madman, it's unpredictable. It's unpredictable. So it's not a case for Vitali, it's a case of what Vitali's got left. And whether if Chisora gets inside, he has enough to deal with Chisora's inside game. Chisora has a very good inside game. Not to convince him on the outside. For Vitali, we all know what he needs to do. Stay long, use the jab, and pop the right hand. Now for me I made a decision beforehand in my pre-fight predictions, and I'm going to go further and say that I do believe that Chisora will stop Vitali. I don't see this being an early fight, but I do see the left hook being a key. If Chisora can stop Vitali from landing big bombs, if he can stop Vitali from holding his feet on the ground and holding his feet and being able to plant punches, if he can keep constantly turning Vitali, there's every chance Dereck Chisora could be the next heavyweight champion of the world. And that's the way I'm seeing it. I'm seeing Chisora winning the fight late or stop late on in the fight. If it goes to points, I can't see Chisora winning it, to be honest. I don't think that would happen. So I think Chisora's best opportunity, he has to stop Vitali. He has to stop him. He's 40 years old now. You know, nobody can go on forever. I know Father Time catches up with us all, and Vitali also has, the two fights he's been stopped on has been injury. Now, could it be a third time where he gets caught early with that left hook? Blood comes gushing down. What happens then? It's just thoughts. It's thought-provoking, you know. But if Vitali, like I said, uses the left jab, and Dereck's coming in times and hits him with the right hand, and you know, he hurts Dereck. I mean, again, this is another point which throws it into complete disarray. Dereck has been sparring with David Price. And you saw what David Price did the other day to Mr. McDermott. Thing is here, up to this date, we haven't seen what sort of a punch, how hard a punch Chisora can take. If he's able to absorb Vitali's best punch, if he's able to slip past that left jab and roll over and throw those left hooks and work the body and get inside of, and again, if he's able to do that, and the other thing is the referee is going to be key in this fight. Is the referee going to be one, but every time Chisora tries to work on the inside, it's going to stop Chisora from working on the inside? The referee in this fight is going to be key, because if he's one of these referees, as soon as Chisora tries to get in, starts saying break, then we know that is the sort of way the fight's going to be, and that's very frustrating. You saw it happen when he fought Mayweather. So it's important. So let me know what you think. I'm going for Chisora victory. So again, try and make your comments a bit try and be constructive with your thoughts. There's no need for you to be, one or two of you have been quite nasty and personal about what you're saying. Just think about what I've said and leave your thoughts. Thank you very much. Thanks for your time. Goodbye.